Welcome to the Learning Management Reports example. This is a little tutorial to help you through in case you forget anything from our presentation. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and log in. And once you're logged into the portal, you'll go up to the group's dashboard just like you would for any of your classes. Upon getting into the dashboard, you'll notice that there's a section called Reports, and if you are a reviewer of reports, you'll have a button right next to it. They're kind of attached to each other. It says Review Comments. We'll come back to these later, but I did want to point out that these are some new buttons that you may not have seen before. Now, because I am going to show an example class, I'm going to go to a school that doesn't actually exist. It's just an imaginary school we created for this purpose. And I'm going to go to a class called Science Test. In this example, we have our setup here with our normal class information. And what I want to do now is I want to go to the gradebook. Not everybody has used the gradebook yet. Those who haven't are going to have to choose Setup, which is just simply clicking the little green button for Setup. Once you've done that, you should have some new information down here, as well as a button that says Reports in the top right corner of the white area. If you did put grades in, or continue to put in grades using the gradebook feature, you'll also see those here as well. Now I'm going to click on Reports, and we can see here that we have our report section. There are two parts to written reports, and then there's the skills checklist. The first part to written reports is the all class comment. Clicking the backwards play button will give you a bigger area to type out some information for the all class comment. Just so you're aware, the all class comment shows up on every student's report in that class. If you have this text saved to a file and you need to apply it to all of your different classes, you can easily copy and paste that information in here. Once you click Submit, it sets this comment up for every student in this class. In this class, we only have one student example. As we look down student examples information, we can see that there's a little pencil tool in the top right-hand corner. This is where, if you give grades, your grade will go. Anything above 90% will give the student an A. Anything above 80% will give the student a B. Anything above 70% will give your student a C, and so on and so forth. Please be aware that the notation for the middle school is a little bit more complex with A-, B+, B-, C+, C-, as well as other notations. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because if you have a student or a class where pass is the only thing that students can get, you'll just type the word pass or put in the percentage of 0, 0. Once you hit 0, 0, it'll mark something as pass if you're in the middle school. Due to this being an example school, it does not use pass, it uses not applicable. Another feature is the skill set. The skill set can be easily put together by choosing one setting for everyone and then simply hitting Submit, and that will fill in the skill notations, as you can see that it just displayed, for every character piece in here. You can also select these individually, so say that they were awesome sauce for being sweetness. Some classes will have a different notation set for different types of skills. This is very rare, but I did want to point this out. And as you can see, we can set those all at once, or we can set them individually. At the end is the other comment area. This is your comments for this specific student. This isn't your general blurb about the class, but your specific feedback about the student's work. And you can talk about specific things that they need, and it will just be all about that student. Once you're done with all of these bits of information, clicking outside of that comment area will save it. Until you click outside of that comment area, it doesn't save. I highly recommend keeping a backup copy just in case. If you would like to read it more fully than what it allows here, up the top you'll see this area that says Expand Comments, and you'll be able to see all student comments in an expanded view to see every word that was written. I'm going to go ahead and pretend the student was actually getting a grade, and I'm going to give them an 85%. You can see that that percentage automatically becomes the notation. And now I have a button that has changed and it's become Submit Comments for Review. By clicking Submit Comments for Review, the reviewer of this class can actually see that there's comments for them to review. I'm going to go ahead and click this now, and we'll take a moment to look at reviewing comments. I'm going to start back at the dashboard. On the dashboard, you can now see that the button for reports and the one next to it for review comments has a little red circle with a number in it. It's showing that there's one comment available for review. If I'm a reviewer for classes, I can go in, click Review Comments, and review the comments that were made. Note, the all-class comment and the specific comments about the student have become part of the same text area. As the reviewer, I have another section where I can actually type my notes and my feedback. If there's a specific area where sentence structure or spelling was incorrect, I can even go in, take that section, copy it, paste it back in with my edits. I can save my draft as I go along so that I don't lose any progress if I'm reviewing multiple comments at one time. Perhaps I go through the first time and I just look for big picture ideas and I want to save my drafts. And then I'm going back in again the second time to look at spelling and other errors. Every time I save my draft, I just make sure that whatever I've already written in those comments is saved. So now I'm going back through my second time and maybe I'm going to point out something very specific or something that I just thought of as being important. I can hit Save Draft again, or I can hit Mark Reviewed. Once I've clicked Mark Reviewed, my screen changes a little bit and I can see that there's no comments found. This does not mean I can't actually go back and look at my reviewed comments. If I had something that struck me just as I was leaving the building and I remembered, oh, I really should have added this one comment, I can go to my reviewed comments, go back down to my feedback and notes, and update that. I also can move it back to pending so that the person whose class this belongs to doesn't see it as being a finished review. I can also see all other ones that have been done. Now, if we go back to the dashboard and we look at the class again as the teacher in science test in our fake school, and I go back to gradebook and I go back to reports, I can now see the comments that were made. If I scroll the way down, you'll see that it's taken out all of the paragraphs that I made, so that's something important to be aware of. It's helpful for me as a reviewer to create paragraphs. I can read through the information here and see that it says feedback and notes. There's a spelling error in the sentence that says mesm legendus conduciere, because I put in consecutiere, and vocibus nomde, whatever those made up words mean. I can edit things to match what was suggested in the notes. When I click outside of it, it saves my comment. And if it's after January 22nd, this button will light up blue that says Submit Final Grades. Once I click Submit Final Grades, those grades are available for being published. If at some time before the school actually publishes this information, I need to go back and create some edits, maybe I need to change the all class comment, I can add my new information, hit submit, and it will automatically already be submitted to to those final grades. I don't have to re-click Submit Final Grades. Thank you for paying attention to this video. If you have any questions or information about updates and other things like that, such as your skill sets needing to be updated and edited, please feel free to contact me. We need to set up an appointment to do that together. If there are any bigger picture questions, please ask Sarah Raleigh for more information and or your division head. Thank you very much. Have fun. Good luck.